Alright, we're getting rolling on this M-610 Bobcat. We got a few issues to go. I got a part 1 video, kind of overview of everything we're doing, but the main thing I want to look at here is we got a problem with the steering. And you can see that lever goes all the way back, and when you can get a little bit out of it, you really got to pull hard on it to get it to turn. But forward seems fine, and the other side is working just fine. So we're going to pull this cover off here, pull these off here. If you're just adjusting clutches, you can pop these off. We'll do that here in just a bit. I got it set in here at an angle. After I drove it in here, let it set overnight. The oil's really milky colored. When I set it at an angle like this, it was leaking. There's a seal or something inside here. I go through there, and this might have been overfilled with oil. I think they kept filling it up, thinking that the hydraulics would work better, but we need to change the filter. We need to get all that milky oil out of there. You get too much water in there, it's not good for hydraulics. And it looks like we got to get that got a cable or something wrapped around the axle there, and we got a stud we got to replace there. So yeah, and the employees are hard at work. So anyways, we're gonna drain this oil out of here. That's why I got it at an angle like this, get it out of here. The oil plug's right down here. Don't do this one. This is the gas tank. I know that from experience, not from this time, but anyways, that's some really murky, milky color oil, and it's coming out way too fast. Might have to rig up my electric pump, I think. Yeah, so anyways, I got a service manual on this thing, and I think I'm gonna have to confirm it, double check, but I think these are, they call the check ports. So it sure looks like they're just little 1/8 inch plugs. Yeah, so the oil's probably supposed to be in between these levels. You can add it from here until it starts coming out of here, something along those lines. I'll have to double check that, but pretty sure that's what I know that it said that it in total takes about 18 gallons. So that should be about 9 gallons on each side. So, and there we go, we're pumping her out. It's threaded in there. It's still kind of dripping and leaking a little bit, but I've already made a hell of a mess anyway. It's just a really piss poor looking oil. Alright, well, moving on. Hopefully you can hear me over that pump. So these things, they're usually not that tight. You can get them off with those, but another night you might have to get you a big axle socket. But there's the nut where you tighten for the reverse clutches. I'll show you why, but the reverse clutches are here and the forward clutches are in here. But you're gonna need to get these off in order to get this plate off, because these threads are inside. So tighten these, adjust these nuts up, stick the castle nuts back in. Okay, so we got that plate off of there, and these are your reverse clutches. These are your forward clutches. Now, see, that one's loose. This one is not, which could indicate the problem that we're having. But this is attached to your steering lever. It goes in here. Obviously, at one time, I don't think it was this time, this chain had been loose. But anyways, these things spin in both the same directions. The reason why one is forward and one is reverse, or how that actually works, is this chain is connected down here. This chain goes over to your front axle, That chain right in there goes to your back axle, which is all connected up behind here, behind this. So this front part spins off of this chain, off of this drive. This drive goes into light cord's caught. That drive right there from the belt. And so this chain comes down here and it loops under this one, and it goes up and over that one. So depending on which one of these is engaged, depends on which direction it goes. So if this one's engaged, the machine goes in the reverse direction. If this one's engaged, it goes forward. So I'm gonna have to dig in here and figure out what's going on. And then there's a bearing right here, and that's that seal. It's got to be in there somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to look at the book on that, but that's where it was leaking. But I believe that it's overfilled if it leaks through that. So alright, so we rolled the cage forward. I was trying to reach through here to grab this. See if I can do it. See all that movement there? You know, linkage is all looking good. See it, nothing. There's that movement there. That's reverse still, and that forward it's really hard to tell. But things I noticed right off the bat. Look in there, see that kind of orange-ish color there? That's the actual clutch disc. And then if you look on this side, you don't see that. See how that is there? Clutch disc material in there. And you come right over here and you don't see it, and you see little metal shavings and stuff. Clutch disc just basically disintegrated. So I'm gonna get these apart and try to, you know, I'm gonna take this chain off of here, you know, and pull this nut off of here, and somewhere on here there's a master link to the chain, but there's also these guys to loosen up here, get some tension off of it. Maybe we can get the tension off of it enough to get the chain completely off. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. I'll show you how to take the clutch apart. Alright, so what we did here is we loosened both of these here, which enabled this to slide back, releases the tension on the chain. There's supposed to be a master link somewhere on this chain to take it apart, but I don't see it, which means it's probably on the opposite direction. We'll probably take that bolt off there and pull that sprocket off there if we can't get it off. So we'll remove the cotter pin. Spun this castle nut off of here, and that piece comes out of there. And then you got this bearing here. There's also a stuck to the oil. There we go. Just a wear ring. See, that wants to come off of there, but chain is stuck. Alright, so I tried taking this off of there and that sprocket will come out, but it won't allow to, won't come out far enough because it, you know, does the same thing this does. It hits the chain. So I searched around and I found that master link. So we need to get that little clip off. See, on the right side of the mirror there, we need to spread that apart. A little tiny screwdriver or pick, slide that thing off, and then we can take that chain apart right there, and then we'll be able to get it off. So that's the little clip, the other side of the master link here. In there like that, and then goes through these little notches, and that clip lands right on the notches, and we got our chain off, loose off there. Now you got the chain off of here. This just slides out, and there's supposed to be a friction plate in there, but it's gone. I haven't really totally looked up parts, but you know, I'm going to be careful. There's bearings and stuff inside of there. They don't come out, but just wherever you put this, make sure that it's, you know, covered up good, not going to get any dirt in it. So since I don't have a clutch disc to, and this is probably pretty damaged and worn out, but parts are kind of hard for these things. I was looking up a lot for a couple hours, found some, but did not come across very many different parts and stuff. So we may just throw a new friction disc in there if we can get one and call it good. You want to, when these are good, we'll take this other side apart here, but yeah, let's get this other side apart, show you what the friction disc looks like. Alright, got this off of here. So here is the friction disc, and it's, you know, pretty worn with the crosshatch on that side, but it's still pretty good. Okay, you know, I'm gonna get 4 of these if I can, but I don't think I'm gonna replace them all right now, namely because, you know, parts are getting a little harder to find for these things, and either that or replace them, and I'll keep this one on hand or something if it gets to the point where it goes out again. That's probably what I'll do. I'll replace them all, but anyhow, yeah, we're a little bit scored up here, but like I said, I'm not gonna try to find that. You know, this thing doesn't get used that much. You know, if it was a regular working machine, everyday deal, yeah, I would replace all of that stuff. I would replace this sprocket, I would replace, you know, but we're just not gonna get into it that far. But that's how you take these apart. And so I'm going to try to locate these, and you know, and then we'll put them back on. And you know, this is how you adjust it. See, these nuts are accessible. These castle nuts that go on here are accessible from under these caps. So this whole plate doesn't need to be taken off just to do your clutch adjustments. But we'll go through that on the next one after we get this apart, you know. But this is a good time right here to you know, check all your linkages and you know, make sure all that stuff works. See, now that we got it all loosened, the lever moves all the way forward now, so there's nothing to push against, no clutch. And so this is what you do, check all that stuff out in here and see what you're gonna need. You got chain tension adjustment. They talk about in the book about getting a you can probably use a fish scale type of deal and hook it on here and pull it, and if you get 10 pounds, then that's the correct tightness of this chain. But we're gonna leave it. It doesn't appear to be doing anything other than it had in the past hit right here, but right now I could push this in as hard as I want to. And actually, I take that back. This is pulling the lever backwards. The lever's not supposed to go as far. It's only supposed to go, like right there is about neutral position. It's only supposed to do about right there. But because this clutch disc had worn out so much, you know, it was allowing this to get pushed up in here, and I bet you that's why that's rubbed right there. So, you know, if you look at the back side of the chain, in most places it looks okay. We're gonna leave it be. So anyways, that's how you remove the clutches on the M-610. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna investigate this, if there's a seal in here or something, or maybe it's just because it was overfilled. I don't know, because according to what I found in the book, the level's only supposed to be down here of oil, and so it's not supposed to be riding up in here, so it's not supposed to leak out of there. But we will figure that out. I'll let you know.